Candace Owens just revealed the truth about Erika Kirk's surprise pregnancy. And once you connect all the dots, everything that Erika has been doing ever since Charlie died starts to make sense. The recent leaked video of Erika Kirk, less than a week after Charlie's death, as well as her response to the accusations, we're going to look at everything. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what went down.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Someone from inside Turning Point USA has leaked information to the public. Allegedly, Erika Kirk is 8 weeks pregnant. This might sound like a beautiful coincidence to some people after Charlie's death. But here's the thing. Charlie died 10 weeks ago. How is it possible that Erika got pregnant 2 weeks after Charlie's death?
Erika Kirk is 8 weeks pregnant. Charlie Kirk died 10 weeks ago. Vance was one of the first people to congratulate her. Walk with me, walk with me. Vance was seen without her wedding ring. Walk with me. I ain't saying, but I'm pretty sure that baby isn't Charlie Kirk's baby. We got some Republican issues going on right now in this country.
This isn't even the most shocking part. Allegedly, Charlie knew something was up before his death. Recently, when his will was read, it was discovered that Charlie had written Erika out of everything, and all of his inheritance was going to his kids. Just what was Charlie afraid of? What did he see that made him want to retaliate against his wife? Ever since Charlie died, there have been rumors that Charlie saw his death coming. He even called some of his closest friends the week he was shot and told them that he was expecting the worst. Now look at how Erika has been reacting ever since Charlie died. I get that everyone grieves differently, but I don't think I've ever seen a widow grieve by partying. Candace Owens shared a leaked audio clip showing Erika Kirk speaking to Turning Point USA staff about merchandise sales and donor numbers, the same week that Charlie died. Believe it or not, she called it the event of a century.
Erika Kirk was having an affair, which is why Charlie Kirk took her out of the will. So allegedly, the story is that Erika Kirk was having an affair. Charlie hired a private investigator to kind of follow her and see what was going on. And then he took her out of the will. So Turning Point USA, all of the merch, none of that goes to her at all. It just goes to their 2 children. And boy, did they make a lot of money on that merch too. And mind you, he did this before he was assassinated. So I don't know, man. Some people are saying he found out kind of who Erika Kirk was, like who she really is, and that's why everything went downhill. Which is insane, because if you look at photos of them, you're like, that is the perfect marriage. That's the perfect life. They have 2 healthy, beautiful children. I mean, all their family photos look like this. So Erika supposedly starts screaming at the lawyers when she finds out that she was left with no money. But mind you, she was mad that Candace Owens allegedly was making hundreds of thousands of dollars on the assassination and everything going on, telling her side of the story, etc. But mind you, Erika Kirk said, and it was recorded, that this assassination was the event of a century. But the weird part, other than that statement itself, that was weird. The other weird part is she said, we could pull off the event of a century. That's weird. What do you mean we could pull it off? What do you mean?
The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century.
Then talking about merch sales, like merchandise, this is what she said.
We had over 275,000 people. I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales.
What? I know he left his will to his children, but I think he should have just given some to Candace Owens. I think that would have been funny.
And here's how Erika was acting during the event. Notice how she can't even force herself to shed a tear, and was actually laughing with the staff later on the call.
Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him
Now, the real question here is that if Charlie isn't the father, then who is it? Well, let's look at all the events moving up to this news, and you'll figure everything out yourself. According to the same source that leaked the news, Erika allegedly found out about her pregnancy a few weeks after Charlie's death. She knew that she couldn't lie her way out of this one, so she decided she was going to try and paint it as a miracle. In her interview with Megyn Kelly, long before any news of her pregnancy broke out, Erika actually mentioned how Charlie wanted to have more kids. She had been praying to God for a miracle. By her own admission, this doesn't make sense because Erika would later state in a different interview that she's an extremely private person when it comes to being pregnant, and she would never share such information with the world. If that's really the case, then what happened here?
So you did get married.
Yes,
You have 2 kids,
2 precious babies.
and you told me this in private, but how many kids did you guys want to have?
We wanted to have 4. Yeah. And I was praying to God that I was pregnant when he got murdered.
Oh, wow. I thought of that once. Just like whether it was meant to be or whether
I know.
we'd get news like that.
I was like, oh goodness, that would be the ultimate blessing out of this catastrophe. So now when I see young couples, I tell them, please, like, don't put it off. Especially if you're a young woman, don't put it off. You can always have a career. You can always, go back to work. You can never just go back to having children. And they grow so fast and so quickly, but I was praying, both of us were. We were really excited to just expand our family.
Thank God you have the 2.
I know.
Thank God.
Boy and girl, I know.
One day they'll find out. Right now they're just, little
know.
loves, and one day they'll find out that they're Charlie Kirk's children, and they'll know what that means.
So we know that Erika had been working on breaking out the news sooner or later. Candace's source just revealed the truth before Erika had enough time to change the narrative. Now, right after Charlie died, Erika started hanging out with Vice President J.D. Vance. I mean, who can forget that weird hug Erika gave J.D. Vance while J.D. Vance's hands were on her hips? A lot of people were shocked when they saw this. But the real surprise was when J.D. Vance's wife, Usha Vance, showed up at a conference later without her ring.
All new here at 6:30, the widow of conservative activist Charlie Kirk is taking over the organization her husband helped to establish. Erika Kirk was officially named as CEO of Turning Point USA by the group's board. In a post on social media today, the board said the organization will carry on and not surrender to evil. Charlie Kirk was fatally shot during an open-air event on the campus of Utah Valley University on September 10th. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson is charged in his killing. Charlie Kirk co-founded Turning Point USA in 2012. The group is credited with energizing the youth vote in Donald Trump's 2024 presidential election victory.
They went to the weirdest places.
Oh my gosh, you guys, please. So for those of you who know me, I hug.
Yes,
like,
you're an intense hugger. It's
whoever
awesome.
is like hating on a hug needs a hug themselves. I will give you a free hug anytime if you want a hug. My love language is touch, if you will. But seriously, that hug. So I will give you a play-by-play. I'm walking. They just played the emotional video. I'm walking over, he's walking over, I'm starting to cry. He says, he's so proud of you. And I say, God bless you. And I touch the back of his head. Anyone who I've hugged that I have touched the back of your head when I hug you, I always say, God bless you. That's just me. If you want to take that out of context, go right ahead. Again, that to me shows that you need a hug more than anyone else. So if anyone...
They were acting like you touched the back of his ass.
I feel like I wouldn't get as much hate if I did that. But no, seriously, so now when I go and hug people, I'll bring them back in and be like, I obviously didn't give you the right hug. Like, let me touch the back.
So why was Erika hanging with J.D. Vance so much? And what does that have to do with her pregnancy and Usha showing up without a ring? I think Erika explained it best in her own words. She said she sees some resemblance of her husband in J.D. Vance. Allegedly, Erika is being primed to replace Usha to spearhead J.D.'s presidential run in the future. Usha's background as a first-generation Indian American from San Diego makes things difficult, and many people are now starting to speculate that Erika and Vance are going to marry each other in order to give Vance a better shot at the presidency in 2028. Could it happen? Well, with Vance wishing his wife were Christian and potentially publicly trying to plant the seeds of a divorce, and Erika saying she sees her husband Charlie and Vance, it could very well be that these two and their PR teams are trying to set the stage for exactly that. Time will tell us for sure.
Holy shit, they are trying to replace Usha Vance with Erika Kirk, because Erika Kirk and JD Vance is their Christian nationalist wet dream. And you won't convince me otherwise. What is this? What is this body language? When did we start putting our hands up in the hair of our friends when we hug? Yeah, no. You don't. This is weird. Oh, and then there's this one. JD, why are your hands so low? There's no reason for them to be on her hips, but there they are. But if that's not enough, here is her introducing him at Turning Point.
I am tremendously blessed and honored tonight to be able to introduce to you a very, very dear friend and his wife. They are incredible. And I see no one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do.
And if you're not convinced yet that they're trying to replace her with Erika Kirk, this is him when asked by a student about him and his wife's difference in their religious beliefs, and he ends it with this.
Do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way.
He wants her to fall in line. He wants her to be a Christian nationalist, just like him.
This is where the story takes an even darker turn. Charlie didn't just foresee his death, he even foresaw Erika's betrayal. Charlie knew that there was a credible threat against his life, and he told his security team about it. One day before his death, Charlie sent a message to multiple people in TPUSA saying that he thought he was going to be killed. She says 3 sources confirmed to her that Charlie said in messages, "Someone is coming after me." After Charlie's death, Candace began looking at flight records on the day of Charlie's death and found something no one could have expected. Egyptian military contractors landed at Provo Airport the same day Charlie Kirk was killed. A jet registered out of Egypt came online on the tarmac at Provo/PVU 21 minutes before Charlie Kirk was shot. The aircraft hangs out at PVU until 1 hour after the shooting. Then its transponder is turned off. It never departs. It comes back online again on September 13th and flies to Goose Bay, Canada. Then on to Paris and Cairo. Why was an Egyptian government Gulfstream at Provo Airport when Charlie Kirk was killed?
I can now report to you that it is a fact that on 9/4, there were, this was not some dropping by in Utah as they were trying to claim because the plane needed to be serviced. That's what they ran with. They ran with, this could have been a routine servicing. I guess there's just no place from Egypt all the way to Utah that an Egyptian military plane can get a tire changed. This is totally routine, nothing to see here. Well, I'm telling you that for a fact, that plane was carrying military subcontractors. And for a fact, they were dropped off in Provo, okay? And that they did not make it back to Cairo. I showed you the plane left. They left on September 10th. It then laid over in Wilmington, Delaware, and departed back for Cairo on the 11th. I am telling you that when that plane left, okay, those people were mysteriously missing from that plane, okay? What's going on here? Why are Egyptian military subcontractors? What are Egyptian military subcontractors?
Everything comes back to Erika. When Candace looked at the flight records, you realize that this same plane had been following Charlie for more than a year. And what's even more interesting is that it was allegedly tracking Erika. There were more than 73 overlaps between flights that Erika took, and flights that this plane was involved in. Combine this with the fact that we know someone with military experience was involved in the shooting, and you can see why Candace doesn't trust Erika.
The person the planes were actually tracking for years was Erika. Not Charlie, but Erika was the one being tracked by these planes between 2022 and September of 2025. Both of those aircrafts, SUBTT, the yellow plane, and SUBND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps with Erika's documented locations, okay? 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped, okay? And 29 of those instances also happened to include Charlie. Charlie was also present. These are all the instances in which this plane, all 68 instances that this plane crossed with Erika. And I'm also going to say this includes overseas as well. So my instant question becomes, why didn't Turning Point acknowledge that this plane was familiar to them? When I was taking all of these figurative online bullets, someone could have easily said something, right? That's kind of a repeat thing in this investigation. Josh Hammer lies, I get attacked, Turning Point just stays silent. They know he's lying, but they allow the lie to flow. Alex Clark lies, I get attacked, I'm telling the truth. Turning Point knows it, but they kind of allow this like Catholic thing, lie to flow. And the influencers are allowed to lie. Nobody at Turning Point ever just steps to clarify that I'm onto something or I'm telling the truth about something. And when it comes to these Egyptian flights, the math on this is indisputable. There is less than a 0.00000001% probability, okay, under random distribution models that these Egyptian planes coincidentally landed around Erika at these times. Like I said, this plane was not just with her in America, it was also tracking her overseas as well.
Erika actually responded to Candace Owens' claim that the Egyptian plan was following her, and like most of her rebuttals, this one was also completely useless. Erika actually twisted Candace's words and made it sound like Candace was lying. It was a classic deflection tactic. Avoid the core argument, exaggerate the accusation, then debunk a version of the claim that was never made in the first place. Watch what Erika says very closely.
I'm nervous that there could be, they'll say we can't find a fair jury. Like they're going to taint the jury pool. And in that case,
That's how widespread you think these conspiracies have gone?
Yes.
That's how mainstream they become.
Okay, Egyptian planes.
You want to talk about
one?
Egyptian planes?
Okay. I was pregnant for 90% of those trips. Mind you, I've never, all those places they said I'd travel, I've never been. I mean, I've been, but I'm not within those dates that they've...
But you even said you need to...
No, but this is, yeah, but I do on that one. Only because, from a humor standpoint, I intentionally, when I was pregnant, hid. Not because I was embarrassed, not because I didn't want anyone. Yes, we did keep it very private, but because it was a moment very sacred. I was growing a human inside of me, my baby. The world that Charlie and I live in is very toxic at times.
Yeah.
And when you are growing a beautiful child in you, I don't want to be around it. I want to enjoy eating my In-N-Out burger and my hot fudge sundae. That's what I want to do. I'm pregnant and I have 9 months to own it. You really think I'm going to be on an Egyptian plane while I'm wanting to be with my In-N-Out burger and my chocolate milkshake? No, I'm not. So if you want to go through my flight log, go right ahead. It's very boring. You say I was here on this date. I have a photo in my phone to prove that I actually was in the hospital because I was having contractions. So game on.
Did you see it? Candace never claimed that Erika was flying on the Egyptian planes. She claimed that Erika and the Egyptian planes had a significant overlap over where they were going and demanded an explanation. Erika didn't have an explanation, so like always, she just deflected the question and tried to shift the attention. Erika never addressed that overlap. Instead, she reframed Candace's claim into something more extreme and easier to dismiss, implying that Candace was accusing her of flying on military jets. That shift wasn't accidental. By attacking a claim that was never made, Erika avoided explaining the flight data itself and redirected attention away from the evidence.
Super fun show today. you're probably seeing the clips, but Erika has gone off on conspiracy theorists. Obviously, every journalist out there is emailing me because it's about me. It's indirect, but it's also about me. And don't worry, in case you think it's not about me, she is going to name check me on stage with Barry Weiss on Saturday. How do we know? Because our mommy sleuths be everywhere, and they recorded the town hall today. And as soon as the town hall concluded, we got a flutter of emails. And what she says about the Egyptian planes, I'm sorry, not gonna lie, it's a little suspicious. It's weird. It's a weird response. So look, we gotta go there.
Candace Owens is the only person publicly demanding a real investigation into Charlie's death, and that alone should raise questions. While the media moved on almost immediately and people close to the situation stayed silent, Candace kept pressing for answers. She's asking why obvious red flags were never addressed, how Charlie knew he was being targeted, and why certain details were glossed over. The most disturbing part is the silence. No urgency, no transparency, no serious push from anyone else who should care the most. His family, his staff, even his closest friends, they've all moved on. And frankly, it's like they don't care what the truth even is.
Y'all, Candace just called out Charlie Kirk's wife.
I do want to assert here that I'm uncomfortable with the fact that despite all of the friends that Charlie Kirk made, all the schmoozing that he did, presidents, right, department heads, I am the only person that is publicly demanding further investigation into his assassination. Why? It's totally rubbing me the wrong way. Something's not right here. Even Turning Point USA, they're just like, we've accepted. Like, obviously, there are holes in this narrative, and they're just like, we're gonna just keep up his shit. What is going on, actually? Just want to say that and get it off of my chest. I don't like it. Throwing it to some of our sponsors. I tell you all the time about Preborn because I've watched way too many people are standing up for the truth. That's what I do here.
She took over Turning Point USA. Charlie Kirk's wife took it over. She's talking about her. Yeah, Erika, she is exposing a lot of things. Why aren't you asking questions?
At this point, the issue isn't conspiracy theories, it's unanswered facts. And until Erika addresses those facts directly, the speculation isn't going anywhere. Because when the timeline doesn't make sense, the behavior doesn't match the story, and the questions keep piling up, people are going to keep asking, what is Erika Kirk really hiding?